Hey everybody, it's Todd with Wayfinder Realty, your host for Sold on Flavor. This week we're going to do beef burritos, and I made chipotle crema topping. So I actually filmed that yesterday because to make crema, you need to, it's very simple to make. So you mix it up. It actually sits out unrefrigerated for anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. Now you can do this in the refrigerator. It's not the same. So it starts off as a very thin liquid. Um, and then like today, it almost has the consistency of like sour cream, right? That's a chipotle crema. Looking forward to that later. And so we're gonna just start putting this together. And I borrowed a couple different things. So we're gonna make rice, and I'll actually make it dirty. I'll put some beef broth in there. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're gonna make crema. Now crema is left out overnight, right, for 12 to 24 hours. You can make it in the refrigerator, it just takes longer, and it's not exactly the same quality. I think this is a much better process. It's very simple to make. All right. So you take 1 cup of heavy cream, whipping cream, whatever it's called by you. 1 tablespoon of buttermilk. It does have to be buttermilk. You can't substitute it for something else. 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. And 1 teaspoon of lime juice. It does have to be fresh lime juice. You don't want to use the concentrate. And you want to mix this up. And like I said, that's your base crema. We're not going to do just crema. We're going to do a chipotle crema. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 chipotle here, and I'm going to mince it up. I'm going to take that 1 chopped chipotle and put that in there. All right, so now I have a chipotle crema. You can use so many different flavors or whatnot. If you are immune compromised, you might not want to follow this process. You might want to do the refrigerated process. You get it. But this is authentic, and this is how we're doing it. So I think you saw, as I was stirring it, how thin it was. And then overnight, this is going to thicken up. But this is just going to sit out. It just needs to sit in a non-refrigerated, just on your kitchen counter somewhere, and for the next 12 to 24 hours. We're only going to do it for 12 hours. This will stay for about a month once it's made. As I start getting going here, I'm going to make some dirty rice. Now, true dirty rice is made by onions, peppers, and jalapeno, and cooked with a little bit of beef, pork, or chicken, usually some type of meat. I'm just using some beef bouillon here. I got some water heating up on the stove. I'm going to dilute that, make a broth, and then I'm going to use that to cook the rice in to give it some more flavor. I'm just using a jasmine rice. I am absolutely guilty of buying stuff I don't need. If you don't have a rice cooker, I highly recommend you get one. This is going to be more simple. You measure out. You have a pre-measured cup. It's per portion, and then you fill it to the water line. But instead, I'm substituting some beef broth, and I just tapped out a little bit more water, and you hit the white rice button. And about a half an hour later, you got white rice. It holds it for about 20 minutes hot too. I'm going to start browning up my beef. Now you can use chicken, you can use pork, whatever you want to use for your burrito. Steak. Oh, yeah, you use steak. I'm going to use ground beef. with taco seasoning in it. But also, I'm going to dice up a red onion and throw that in there as well while that cooks up. And then I will add just regular taco seasoning. You can either add a packet. I usually buy it in a large container, but however you normally use your taco seasoning, you mix up yourself if you want. I've done that as well, as long as you have the ingredients. I was talking about the dirty rice with you, and I'm like, you might as well. I got these chipotle peppers. This is from that can earlier that I used for the crema. So I'm just going to dice this up and saute that with the ground beef as well. My ground beef is brown, so I'm just going to actually run this through a strainer into a bowl and get the grease out, and then add the seasoning. And once I've drained my grease, I want to put my taco seasoning in. Why I cook this much beef, I don't know, but that's all right. I can always freeze what I don't use, but I have close to 4 pounds of beef here. If you've been here for a while, you know I do not follow recipes very well. One of the first things we want to do when we build our burrito, if you go into a Mexican restaurant, they'll actually heat up the burrito, right? It's going to make it more pliable, easier to roll. So at home, you can do that in a microwave, and you don't need much, like 15 seconds. Okay. Now I just want to build my burrito. I have my rice here that's cooked in my beef broth. I have some black beans here. Some corn. My beef. And my cheese. Okay, I have a panini press. If you don't have a panini press, you certainly can just heat a metal pan in the oven. All right, so here's my burrito. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I burned myself. Some more cheese on top of it. I'm going to throw it under the broiler for a minute. Okay, I just melted some cheese on top of this. Now I'm going to take some of that chipotle crema. This one crema. It's crema. Some fresh salsa. And there you have beef burrito with chipotle crema. Hey everybody, it's time with Wayfinder Really, your host for Sold on Flavor. This week, beef burritos with chipotle crema. This is absolutely delicious. A meal to be shared with a friend. What I love about this dish, this is a freezer-friendly dish. You can make a whole bunch of these, let them cool down, freeze them on a sheet tray, and then put them in a bag, and you can you have instant meals for the kids or for yourself if you're living a busy life. Till next week, take care.